Hey guys, welcome back to the 3-Hour News Show. And this is a special month, of course, aside from the Eid Mubarak, the Ramadan before that. There was also the Indonesian Women's Day, or we know it as Kartini Day, right?
Yes.
Now, when I was young, I celebrated Kartini Day by wearing traditional clothes, of course, in school. Now, do you girls have some experiences there too?
Of
Yes.
course. Of course. You know, I was looking forward to dress my daughter up this year, but it turns out it was Eid holiday.
Yeah.
Me too. To dress my son. Oh,
Yeah, I'm
they will
looking
look
forward
so
to that.
cute.
I know. And you know what? Today, many women continue Kartini struggles, which is, by the way, empowering women to have rights and access to education and so much more. And there are also public figures who use their power to voice women's rights. Now, we have a specific one in mind today, and who is she? Let's check it out.
So 21st April is celebrated as Kartini Day. She was a strong woman who fought for women's rights during the colonial era. However, she is a timeless figure who inspires many even in this day and age.
Nova Eliza is an actress and model born in Aceh on June 4, 1980. She became famous through her soap operas in the 2000s and is actively involved in issues concerning women's rights. She also founded the Suara Hati Perempuan Foundation in 2015, which supports, initiates, and contributes to women's issues.
Gotta love a woman who champions other women.
Yes, I agree.
Hard to come by those. We need more of those. And to find out more about the Suara Hati Perempuan Foundation, we have its founder, Nova Eliza, here in the studio, online with us. She's all the way from the Netherlands, if I'm not mistaken. So good afternoon, Nova.
Hello there.
Hi.
Good day. Good afternoon.
You know, it's so different to see you here speaking to you and watching you on screens in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy that, from being an actress, you get to do something so special. Thank you so much for what you do. So this month is special for Indonesian women, as we know, since Kartini Day was commemorated on April the 21st. Does the Suara Hati Perempuan Foundation conduct activities that raise women's stories during this time?
Yes. So my foundation is holding a webinar entitled Kartini in the World. It's a national discussion by thanking the spirit of Raden Ajeng Kartini. As we all know, the struggle of R.A. Kartini really gave great influence and meaning to Indonesian women. So that's why the webinar Kartini in the World presents 4 strong Indonesian women with different background to share their knowledge and then experience of the success they have achieved. So the 4 ladies are, we had Farwiza, forest conversionist and inspirational figure time 100 next. And then we have Sergeant Verona Mendrova. She's an Indonesian woman in U.S. military. And we also have Zahra Muzdalifa, Indonesian soccer athlete who right now in Japan, trial in Japan, and of course Bunda Korla as an artist. So these ladies who attend and became the speaker in a webinar entitled Kartini in the World.
Oh.
I see, Manova. And what do you think is women's role in Indonesia's current development? And do we have gender inequality issues, in your opinion?
I think currently women play a major role in being a part of improving the welfare of the Indonesian people as individual, as a wife, as a mother, as a citizen who are obliged to educate the next generation. For example, me, I'm a mother. I have a daughter. It's a big role for me to educate my daughter, of course. And then when we talk about inequality, that needs to be addressed, I think we need more time to talk about it. But for example, removing patriarchal culture in Indonesia, it's one of the gender inequality that we need to address. And then beside that, we need to end all forms of discrimination, all forms of violence and harmful practice, for example. And as a woman, we need to ensure that all women can participate fully in political, culture, social, and also economic. That's what I think.
Very well said. Now, Nova, this is something that we probably have seen quite a lot in the recent days. But in your opinion, how can women become agents of change in driving social change?
I think all Indonesian women can become an agent of change starting from their respective environment, yeah, to make a change. The involvement of women in voicing change and taking a role in decision making down to the smallest levels, such as household, is very important in realizing gender equality in order to promote sustainable development. So the family is the beginning of someone to get basic education. The role of women in the family is very important in providing education for their children.
Yes.
Starting the way how they speak, manners, behave, to respect each other. And this is very important because the family is the role model that forms the basis of one's development. And as a woman, we became a mother for the children. We became a wife for the husband, or even became an educator for our children. Yeah. And if the smallest group as a family is stable, I think then the external environment will also be tidy and properly managed. So I think right now in my foundation's Suara Hati Perempuan Foundation, we have more than 200 agents of change from various professions. Our agents of change are not only women, but also men. Why do we involve men? Because we believe when men and women work together in harmony to make a change, the result will be so much better.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's not men's versus women, but we both want basically to achieve, harmony and gender equality. But something very interesting that you mentioned before, I want to draw back a little bit, is removing cultural patriarchal values, these things that are obstacles to achieving gender equity. And in your experience, and you've also mentioned education, how important is education for women for us to be able to achieve gender equality for Indonesian women? And most importantly, I know that's a very very common question, but what kind of education is needed for these women to be able to re-educate the children, influence the people around her?
Yeah, I think education is very important for Indonesian women in achieving gender equality. It can be said that gender inequality originates from the culture that has been practiced so far, and especially in a patriarchal society. And we need to be straightened out that when we talk about gender equality, namely the understanding of gender itself, it cannot be denied that the understanding of gender is often misguided in society until now. Gender often associated with sex. In fact, gender and sex are two different things. Sex refers to physical condition that a person has outwardly. Meanwhile, gender is the differentiation of roles, attribute, trait, attitude, and behavior that grows and development in society. So one way through education, I think gender as a general construction, and people perception needs to reconstruction. In this case, it can be done through formal and non-formal education. As we know, for formal education that can be obtained in schools, of course. And for example, with existence of subject and then knowledge about gender equality in school and understanding about the gender equality. And then if we're gonna take the education in non-formal, meaning, like let's say by holding outreach related to gender equality as my foundation doing so far. So that's pretty much what I think.
Yes, Manova, I agree with you that gender equality education is very important nowadays. And what is your response? Now we're moving on to other issues, which is violence or harassment against women in Indonesia. What is your response to that?
I think horrible. It's still horrible until now because the emergency of sexual violence or violence that is currently happening cannot only be interpreted by increasing an extreme number of cases of sexual violence, but rather the failure is handling the cases that occur, which make victims still feel more helpless and lose their sense of security. And lack of knowledge about the issue of sexual violence also make people often normalize the form of sexual violence that occur. So what victim needs is protection, both morally and legally, of course. Like gender equality and understanding of form of violence is equal, important to continue to socialize.
Right now, Manofa, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, because for me, I have like a tips to prevent violence against women. If you don't mind, I share with you guys.
Yes, please.
So, So first of all, we need to educate ourselves and know the issue, of course, and then speak out. That's very important. Unless you don't want to speak out or you want to keep the silence of the case, that's a different story. But speak up and speak out is better. And then if it's happened to you, talk to someone that you can trust, and call for better response and service, of course. For example, like Komnas Perempuan or KPPA, Kementerian Pemberdayaan Perempuan dan Perlindungan Anak. And then the other tips for me is that let's involve more men to solve this situation. The toxic masculinity drive violence against women. This, of course. And then support women's leader. That's very important. And then build solidarity with other movements and work together with other women's organizations. And then please, let's not normalize everything in this world or society. For example, if you see someone catcalling you, then stop, say to that person, catcalling is not right to do, Because these days, seems like everything is normalized. So for me, I cannot take that. When it's wrong, it's wrong. And then understand your value as a human, as a woman, of course. We need also to push the stronger laws to protect the victim. And then for my opinion, women needs to be strong mentally, physically, and also financially to avoid and to prevent violence against women.
Very insightful there, Manofa. Now, you mentioned something about victims, about speaking out, also about Komnas Perempuan and KPPA. Now, since we have you here on air, now we believe, and I think this is something that we want to find out from you, that you have a hotline in your foundation to assist women with their needs or if they want to speak out.
Yes. Since these days is more into social media platform, I think right now the fastest way to contact us is through social media, our Instagram. You can reach us on our Instagram, which is at Perempuan Suara Hati, or you can also visit us at www.indonesianwoman.org. Or also you can text us or call us on our number, which is 0816-232-280. That's our number hotline.
Wow, certainly is. I'm learning a lot here.
Yes,
I'm learning a lot, and
guys.
also reviewing. And we have one last question because first of all, we want to say thank you for everything that you do, and because it seems like you already have. Yes, you already have like the system ready to support women and how to help educate women coming out of that, that little cage that society has put women in. But as Kartini's successor here in Indonesia, what dreams do you have for Indonesian women or Indonesia in general?
Okay, my dream is to see women in all parts of Indonesia think forward and openly, meaning that women who no longer accept violence, yeah, and oppressions. My dream is to see real action on gender equality. And in this case, it's not only a matter of equal opportunity, but also a matter of protection and care for women, women who grow and develop as they wish, as they want to increasingly advance in civilization and more brilliant inspiration, innovative and visionary, without leaving their nature as a woman.
I love that.
Yes,
Without
me too,
leaving
yep.
the
That
nature
last
of
line,
a woman.
perfect.
Without
Yes.
leaving the
Punchline.
nature of a woman. That is the modern punchline needed
Yep.
because we don't have to change. We can be exactly the way
Yes,
we are.
yes.
Manova Eliza, founder of
Exactly.
Suara Hati Perempuan, all the way from the Netherlands. Thank you so much for your time. And
Thank
for
you so much,
everything that you
Manova.
do, Manova. We
Thank
hope
you,
to
Manova.
see you back here in the studio when you're back
Yes,
in
keep
Indonesia.
inspiring, Manova.
Oh, of course.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
thank you. Well, there you have it. What's your
Wow,
biggest
yes.
highlight?
Yeah,
trying
it's
to
about,
process
yeah,
it.
That's a
because
lot.
we've learned a lot, especially about the gender equality education.
Yeah.
She really put it the emphasis, emphasize on her system, right? On the, what's the foundation called? The Suara Hati
Suara
Perempuan,
Hati,
right?
yeah.
Yes.
Yes. No,
And
for me right now, it's just because, again, back in the 2000s, we knew of Nova Eliza
As an actress.
Right. And then
Yes.
all of a sudden, she's coming up here, she's
Yep.
talking about all this stuff, very, very important issue for
Wow.
women. I was, wow.
Yeah, we're blown away.
Exactly.
But you know what I was so blown away about is it is true what she mentioned is that studies have shown that when women are educated, it
Yeah.
not only benefits the woman but the entire community.
Yep.
Because of the influence a woman has on community. If
Yep.
a family is the first place of education, guess what? Women are the first
Yep.
educators of the family. So if we can teach that women can be allowed to become women free of their choice and are aware of what the boundaries are that we should know about, right? We have the
Yes.
right to know
Yes.
about.
Yes.
Hopefully society will come and become a better place. Hey, we got to raise our children, the next generation, to become exactly that what we envision.
I agree.
It starts with us. So that was
course.
interesting. I love
Yeah.
talking about these
Yes.
things.
Yeah, women
Happy
empowerment.
Kartini month, everybody. Unfortunately, Kartini month is coming to an end.
coming
But the,
to an end.
Yeah.
it should always continue.
But we will always bring the spirit with us.
Oh, yeah.
Throughout the year, yes.
Yes. Yes, we will. And see, the stories will also continue after the break, so don't go anywhere. Stay tuned with us on the VR News Show on C2.